Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to another episode of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Justice for All. In the last episode, we had the Matt on Guard reveal, the big reveal. Matt on Guard is the killer, or at least he hired Shelly the killer in order to kill Juan Corda, and also recorded it in order to have it as insurance because he's like, oh, assassins aren't about blackmail, blah, 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 whatever. And we also found out that Maya was originally being kept at Matt on Guard's, mansion, but she was moved, and yeah, now we don't know what we're gonna do. We don't know what we're gonna do. We don't know if we're gonna have to convict Matt on Guard for the sake of justice or get him acquitted for the sake of Maya. So yeah, let's get going. Ugh! How did I get into this mess? That's far enough. You can't run forever, Mr. Phoenix Wright. It's the judge! What have I done wrong? I cannot allow you to go on like this. Huh? But I'm just a simple defense attorney. Silence! You are no longer worthy of your title. Man, I like this whole, connecting theme with that. I've had this dream before. Someplace, some time ago. Maybe it was the first case of this game, as if this day was written into my destiny. Today I'll stand in court as a lawyer to prove a killer innocent. March 23rd, 9:43 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 3. Hello, this is Phoenix Wright. You don't look so well, dude. You're gonna prove me not guilty today, right? If you please, Mr. Lawyer. Remember, it's not just me. Your precious friend's life is riding on today's verdict, too. Now listen up! You better get on guard a guilty sentence, okay? If you get that creepy slime bag and not guilty, I'll never forgive you, ever! Maya. Mia. Mia! Maya, how's Maya? I don't know. You don't know? She hasn't tried to channel me since yesterday. Mia, what am I supposed to do? Well, like I said, for a lawyer, the worst of times are when you have to force your biggest smiles. But you can't give up. There's still some hope left. Stop it, please! There's nothing left. Not here, not anywhere. Who the fuck wants to call me now? Ugh, it's that accursed on guard again. Will you leave me alone? Look, don't call me anymore, I mean it! You really mean, pal. Gumshoe, I'm really sorry. Where are you? They let me join the investigation team when we're chasing after the killer, pal. Then you have some sort of lead? Sorry, but right now we've got 0 leads on the guy. But we're not gonna give up. Gumshoe. Until the trial is over, until the verdict is handed down, we're gonna do everything we can and find the killer. If we can get Maya out, then you can get on guard the guilty verdict he deserves, pal. That's true. I could do that if they found Maya first. You got that? So you have to do whatever you can to make the trial last longer. I have to make the trial last longer? If you go at Mr. Edgewood with everything you got, then you two can draw it out. Oh, now I get it. I believe in you, pal. You and Mr. Edgewood can do it. So, believe in us. We're gonna give it all we got, just like you. Got it. Thanks, Gumshoe. Hey, Phoenix. You understand now, don't you? You have something money will never be able to buy. Friendship. The magic of friendship compels you. It is the strongest weapon in the world and you have it in abundance. Yeah! Looks like we're coming to the end. I have to make the trial last as long as I can. Gumshoe will come through, I know it. Whew. March 23rd, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom Number 3. Court is now in session for the trial of Matangard. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Now, as I recall, we concluded yesterday's session with a big mystery on our hands. The mystery being, what exactly was Miss Adrian Andrews' role in this murder? That is to say, is she really connected to the crime itself? Mr. Edgeworth, if you would please inform the court of today's proceedings. Adrian Andrews. She forged evidence that threw suspicion onto Mr. Ungard, and then proceeded to escape the crime scene by wearing a nickel samurai costume. The guilt of these actions are those from which she cannot escape. Then you're saying that she is guilty after all? I'm not finished, Your Honor. Miss Andrews has nothing to do with committing the actual murder. I would like to direct the court's attention to this card. What is that? It looks like a shell. This is the calling card of a certain assassin. Assassin, you say? Yes, Juan Corrado was killed by a professional assassin, and the person who hired the assassin, his client, so to speak, is Matangard. What a surprising turn of events! I would think it's become commonplace by now, Your Honor. I know what's going on this time, so I know that everything Edgeworth has said is true. But we still have to hold out as long as we can, at least until Maya's safe and sound. I wonder how the trial will turn out today. Now then, please call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls the defendant's mentor, Mr. Will Powers, to the stand. Mentor? Now then, witness, your name and occupation, please. Oh, okay. I'm, Will Powers. I'm a poor, underpaid action star. And what is your relation to the defendant? Well, that's... I guess I'm sort of a lousy mentor to him in a way, yeah. Oh, Mr. Powers, please, you don't need to put yourself down so much. Oh, sorry, well, but I'm just kind of a nothing sort of guy. On the night of the murder, you visited the defendant's room. Is this correct? Yes. I didn't know that. But you know, I didn't actually get to see Matt when I went. All you need to do is answer what you're asked. Now then, I would like you to please testify about when you went to Mr. Ungard's room. Okay, sure. Alright. Visit to Matt's room. After the awards ceremony, I went by myself to Matt's room. Matt was standing there in front of his room, still in his nickel samurai costume. He was talking with someone. At first I thought it was the bellboy. I watched the two of them for a while, but then I gave up and went back. I had guests with me that night, and I couldn't make them wait for me. That was us. Nothing sounds out of place in Mr. Powers' testimony. And talking with the bellboy is no big deal. If one assumes that the person Mr. Ungard was speaking with was an ordinary bellboy. What are you implying? Well, Mr. Wright, let's have your cross-examination, shall we? Looks like we're in another sticky situation. Huh? A trap. Can't you smell it, Phoenix? But for us to find out more, we're just going to have to charge in head first, right? Yeah, okay. After the award ceremony, I went by myself to Matt's room. Okay. The defendant's room? Why did you go there? Well, I'm his mentor, like a big brother, sort of, and I wanted to say congrats. What's wrong? Why did you stop? Mr. Wright! What is it? You're gonna try and trick me into a corner, aren't you? Huh? I know I'm just a poor, underpaid action star, but I'm not the killer. No one said you were, Mr. Powers. No, please, don't trick me. Every time you do your lawyer thing, the witness suddenly turns into the bad guy. Every time? Witness, I will personally talk to the defense at a later time, so for now, please kindly cooperate and continue with your testimony. Sorry. So you went to the defendant's room, and then... Hey, wait a minute, when and how did I suddenly turn into the bad guy here? I feel like there's something odd about that, but okay. At first? What do you mean by that? Well, he was in a bellboyish uniform and he had a bottle of juice on the tray. Sounds like an ordinary bellboy to me. Yeah, but I didn't think he was a normal bellboy. And why was that? Why did I think that, Mr. Wright? How am I supposed to know? Sorry, but I can't remember right now. Sorry. I guess I'm gonna have to wait patiently on this one. What do you mean? I watched the two of them for a while, but then I gave up and went back. You saw the two of them, the bellboy and the defendant, together, correct? Yeah, the bellboy just wanted to say congrats. Now, while you were watching the two of them, did you notice anything strange? You know, I did feel something weird. I think it was because Matt, well, he gave the bellboy a tip. A tip? But that's a perfectly normal thing to do. So how long did you watch the two of them? Not more than a minute or two, I think. So then do we press this statement again? At first? What do you mean by that? I didn't think he was a normal bellboy. And why was that? Why did I think that, Mr. Wright? How am I supposed to know? Hey, wait a second. I do know! Actually, Mr. Powers, only a few minutes ago you stated... you know, I did feel something weird. I think it was because Matt, well, he gave the bellboy a tip. Could it be that you felt something strange about the tip-giving incident itself? Ah, yeah, that's it. You really know your job. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor? This bellboy, he wasn't an ordinary one, was he? Perhaps we should let the witness tell us. Very well. Mr. Powers, please amend your testimony. You mean about the bellboy, right? Matt gave the bellboy a tip, okay? So he gave the bellboy a tip. What's so strange about that? Well, you see, Matt's not a poor penny pincher like me. I was trying to figure out how much it was because the tip really shocked me. How much it was? But that's when something even more surprising happened. The bellboy was putting the tip he got in his pocket. And that's when I got my first good look at the guy's face. I was really shocked. I'm afraid I don't follow at all. Sounds like Mr. Powers was surprised twice by this event. I wonder which of his shocking moments should I ask about. Hold on. If we ask about the bellboy's face, do we have the... Yes, we do. We have John Doe. Which I guess we'd assume that is Shelley the killer, so... Let's ask about the... No, wait. Let's ask about the tip? I don't know. The defendant is a huge star. He can afford to give generous tips, wouldn't you agree? Sure. But giving him that much was maybe a little too much, I think. A little too much? Would you please clarify for the court? About how much would you say the defendant gave to the bellboy? Honestly, I don't know. I can't even begin to guess. And why is that? Because he gave the bellboy a really, really fat roll of cash. A roll of cash?! Well, shit. Well, how interesting. That certainly was a very generous tip, wasn't it? A very fat roll of cash that can hardly be called a tip, Your Honor. The judge is beginning to look awfully suspicious of us. Objection! The defense is a superstar. I am a superstar. That kind of tip is typical fare for people like him. A fat roll of cash is typical fare? Are you saying that all superstars are super spenders? If I could receive large rolls of cash by simply bringing people things on trays, then why on earth would I stand around here prosecuting? He's got a point. I don't even get paid. Let alone rolls of cash for all my hard work. Ouch. So supposing that roll of cash was not a tip, then what was it? Payment, Your Honor. Payment? The bellboy is an assassin. Isn't it obvious? For the murder of Juan Corda. Then the bellboy the witness saw? Yes, he was the assassin. Hold your horses now, Mr. Edgeworth. You don't have any proof of this, do you? Have I ever been unprepared to support my claims, Your Honor? I have here the card Shelley the killer left at the scene of the crime. Shelley the killer? He is the person the police's special investigations team has been chasing for ages. I am certain that the person the witness saw was this very assassin, Shelley the Killer. Really? What's wrong, Mr. Powers? No, nothing. Something just clicked in my head and I think I just figured something out. Oh? Actually, I saw that bellboy again later on that night. What? Phoenix, you're stupid. Mr. Powers, please testify. Tell us what you saw. Yes, sir, right away. Phoenix! This time I was in that hallway because I had to go to the bathroom, and that's when that bellboy I saw earlier came out of the room. Of course, when I say room, I mean Juan Corda's room. Oh no. Now that I think about it, that bellboy did seem kinda out of place. Yeah, so he had to be the assassin, I'm sure of it. I mean... Thank you very much. That is all we need for now. Huh? But I'm not done. There's still more. Let us first establish that the bellboy was truly Mr. the Killer, then we shall see. So the bellboy came out of the victim's room? And if that bellboy really was the assassin, then I think the answer is fairly obvious. That would be correct, Your Honor. Well, Mr. Wright, I believe it's your turn to entertain and make us laugh. Ha 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 ha. This is no laughing matter. Okay, Mia, okay. This time I was in that hallway because I had to go to the bathroom. Okay, cool. And that's when that bellboy I saw earlier came out of the room. The room, meaning Juan Corda's room. The victim's room, huh? Yeah, the one with all the really pretty flowers and the teddy bears. It was Juan's room, all right. Words cannot describe how screwed I am. Let's continue with the testimony, shall we? Why? So what exactly was so out of place about him? Right. Why the insipid grin? Maybe because I have no idea what damaging thing he's gonna say next. Well, the bellboy was empty-handed. Empty-handed? That bellboy was one of the room service people, right? But he wasn't pushing a cart and he wasn't holding a tray either. You call that a little strange too, wouldn't you? I agree that it is a bit strange, Mr. Powers. Is it really that unusual for a bellboy to be empty-handed? What should I do? Should I let Mr. Powers' testimony slide, or... There is nothing stranger... What? Oh, okay, good. Okay. We're good. I don't know what I just said. Okay. If you two are done being school children, bellboys are for room service. There is no reason for them to be empty-handed. Ever. Your Honor, I ask that the witness's previous statement be supplanted with this new one. Edgeworth. Are you gonna do whatever you can to make the bellboy look suspicious? I see. Very well, this court recognizes and grants the prosecution's request. Mr. Powers, if you can amend your testimony, please. Yes, sir. I thought it was kind of strange for a bellboy to come out of a guest room empty-handed. You said that the guy was holding tomato juice. And there was tomato juice in the room. Let's go find the crime photo. Yes, there it is. That's the empty tray. There you go. I'm right. Mr. Powers. Yes? You're easily influenced by other people's words, aren't you? As soon as you heard that the bellboy might have been the killer, you got caught up in believing it must be true. But isn't he really suspicious? He's got all those stitches and... So, a baseball has stitches? Are you saying all baseballs are suspicious because they have stitches? Well, there's also... I mean, what about him being empty-handed? I would like to ask the court to please take a look here. This is the crime scene. There is a wine glass sitting next to Mr. Corda's body. The liquid inside this glass is tomato juice. And now, if you would look at what is on top of the table in the lower right corner here. Anyone can see that it is a tray with a bottle of tomato juice on it. The bellboy had just brought this to Mr. Corda's room. He left the tray in the room, which is why he was empty-handed when he left. But that would mean that the bellboy had seen and left a dead body in the room. But can you prove that Mr. Corda was already dead at that time? Oh, Mr. Edgeworth! Yes? I blame you for leading me down this route. I'm terribly sorry. What is with him? Why is he laughing? Witness, isn't there one more thing you would like to share with us? Is there? The bellboy was empty-handed, or should I say empty-handed. I recall you had something interesting to say about his hands. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Huh? What? That bellboy, he was wearing gloves. Gloves? Yeah, pitch black leather ones. All the other bellboys don't wear gloves like that, right? Black leather gloves. Why didn't you mention them earlier? Sorry, it slipped my mind. Ugh, boy does this make this bellboy look really suspicious. Alright, gotta focus. I can't get lax here. So what if he had gloves? A lot of bellboys wear gloves. Come on, Mr. Wright, that bellboy was wearing black leather ones. So, a football is made of leather? Are you saying all footballs are suspicious because they're made of leather? What is this argument? But that man, he received a large roll of cash from the defendant, and then he was seen leaving the crime scene wearing black leather gloves. I don't think that even someone like myself can believe that was just another bellboy. It seems that we have finally come to an understanding. Now then, witness, please continue with the rest of your testimony. The rest? Oh, yes, please tell us more. Okay. Their second meeting. After leaving Juan's room, the bellboy went and knocked on Matt's door just like that. He gave something to the person inside the room. Then the old guy just left without even going into the room. After that, I went to the bathroom and then back to my seat. So the bellboy, after leaving the crime scene, next went to the defendant's room? Yeah, I kinda saw all that by accident. Some accident? I'd say you saw too much. And all of it was suspicious to high heaven. I think it's safe to say that we can no longer consider this bellboy to be normal. Now then, let's get started, shall we? Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. Oh, dearie, dearie me. Okay. He gave something to the person inside the room. What did he give? I said hold it! Okay. That's better. Ahem. What kind of statement is that? Please elaborate and give us a few more details. I'm sorry, I burped. Oh, okay. I should probably ask him only one question at a time. About the person inside, ask about this something. Alright. We're gonna ask about the something. He gave something to this person. Yeah. And what was this something? If I remember what it was, I wouldn't be calling it a something, would I? But this implies that something was removed from the scene of the crime. Are you sure you really can't remember, Mr. Powers? I think it was something kinda small. This is an incredibly crucial piece of information. Please, try to remember what it was. I'll try. In the meantime, let's talk of another point, namely, what the bellboy did next. Oh, so after he gave the person inside the room thing, then the old guy just left without even going into the room. Is that suspicious? After that, I went to the bathroom and then back to my seat. Okay, who cares? Where did this bellboy go after he left Mr. Engarde's room? He opened the door to the Viola Hall, went in there, and who knows after that, right? I do. Let's ask the other question. So who took this something the bellboy handed off? Actually, I don't know. What do you mean? I'm sorry, but I only saw the person's arm. Only an arm? Then you're saying you didn't see the person's face? Yeah. I would like to summarize the testimony up to this point, if you don't mind. When the bellboy left the crime scene, he immediately went to the defendant's room. There, he handed a small item of some sort to the person inside. As for the person who received the item, all you could see was the person's arm. Yes, it was just like that. Mr. Edgeworth, is all this really that important? Of course, Your Honor. I think this is of the utmost importance. This is when whatever was removed from the crime scene was handed over to the client. Mr. Powers, please try to remember what it was the bellboy handed off. Well, let's see. I think it was... No. If you remember, please add to your testimony. Yes, sir. If I saw it again, I could say for sure, but I think it was some sort of wooden statue. Wooden statue? A statue? Yeah, it kind of looked like one, I guess. If I saw the actual thing again, I'd probably remember, you know? Looks like for this trial to proceed, I'm going to have to come up with whatever this statue thing is and show it to him. You're going to have to trust your instinct on this one and take a chance, Phoenix. Well, Mr. Powers, let's continue with your testimony. What did the bellboy do after that? Then the old... Okay, whatever. I have a wooden statue? Wait. It's a wooden bear-shaped figurine. This makes sense. What was the point of that pregnant pause? Where did that objection come from? Well, speak up! It was me, Your Honor. What is it, Phoenix? I have a feeling that something bad is going to happen once I show this. Mr. Wright, if you have something to say, please spit it out! Yes, Your Honor. Okay, Phoenix, deep breath. Mr. Powers, there's something you saw. Was it this item? Oh, hey, that's it! That's the something! Wow, Mr. Wright, you really figured it out. I recall we found this at Madame Guard's mansion. At the defendant's house? Shit, man. What does this mean? It's simple, Your Honor. Shelley the killer assassinated Juan Corda in his room, and then he stole this wooden bear from the scene of the crime. Then the bear being found at Mr. Angard's mansion would mean... It goes without saying, Your Honor. Mr. Madangard is the killer's client. Fuck me. Order, order, order! I said order! Mr. Wright, this is a most unfortunate turn of events for you. Why did you present that evidence, you dumbass? Yeah. Sorry, Mia. No, it's alright. Your judgment was sound. Actually, I figured the bear would come up. If not now, then it would have later on. Even if you hadn't shown it to the court, I'm sure your friend Edgeworth would have. I almost forgot that he knew about it too. I think it is clear that there is no need for us to continue this trial. I can't let this happen. I have to do something. There has to be something we've overlooked. Your Honor, a minute, please. Yes, Mr. Wright? There are still a few points left that we have not fully explored. What are you trying to pull? Oh, well, we can't have that. All right, Mr. Wright, what questionable point would you like to explore further? The bear itself, perhaps? I think it's fairly obvious that the bear itself is very questionable. The bear, Mr. Wright? This was found at Angard's mansion. However, Mr. Angard was arrested at the hotel that night, which means that since the murder occurred, he has not had a chance to go home. Oh! I think Your Honor has already figured out what I'm trying to say. It is not possible that it was Mr. Angard who took this bear to his mansion. Why, that's very true. We didn't consider that point, Mr. Wright. There was no way, time-wise, for the defendant to have taken this bear home. Phew, disaster averted, God fucking damn it. You haven't gotten the best of me yet, Mr. Wright. Huh? I remember it clear as day. I remember what you muttered to yourself at Angard's mansion. We had this area completely surrounded. There is no way for him to escape. I can't believe it. That butler. All this time he was the killer. The killer and Angard were working together, so to speak. And the killer was hiding at Angard Mansion as its butler. What a bold move! The bear figurine was brought back to Angard Mansion by the killer himself. When it looked like he was about to be arrested, Angard had him do so. I assume because it would have been bad had the police found it during their investigation. Well, Mr. Wright, you've been quiet for a while now. This is too much. Isn't there anything I can do to attack at all? I have to try. I have to find something else. What will you do now, Mr. Wright? Do you plan to... I plan to expose a clearly shaky place in Mr. Powers' testimony. What? There is still another one? There is indeed, Your Honor, and it's quite a questionable point. What are you trying to pull? Oh, well, we can't have that. All right, Mr. Wright, what questionable point would you like to explore further? There was one thing in Mr. Powers' testimony that was very unclear, and that is the identity of the person who received the bear. He gave something to the person inside the room. I'm sorry, but I only saw the person's arm. As long as we don't know who it was that took the bear, we can't be sure of... Ah! Well, what is it, Mr. Powers? If you're going to scream like that, then at least give us a good reason why. Oh, yeah, sorry. Actually, so, I remembered who took the bear. What? Really? I mean, I only saw his arm, but the arm, it was the Nickel Samurai's arm, I swear it! You've gotta be kidding! Are you sure of that, Mr. Powers? Yeah, I'm sure it was the Nickel Samurai. Oh... Order! It looks like you've dug your own grave, yet again. How many times is that today? I've lost count. So the person who took in this little bear was the Nickel Samurai. And as we all know, Mad on Guard is the Nickel Samurai. But thanks to the defense, we've made that all the clearer. I think we've heard enough. We now know why this bear figurine was at the defendant's mansion, as well as who it was that received the bear from the assassin in his room. Everything has become very clear. The client who hired the assassin to commit the murder was Mad on Guard. I see no reason for this trial to continue, therefore I will now hand down my verdict. Thank you, Your Honor, for your understanding. You see, Mr. Wright, you could not win against the truth, could you? I knew it would turn out this way. After all, what Edgeworth stated is the truth. Any last objections, Mr. Wright? Well, do I? What should I do? Do we have another objection? Objection! I will not... There we go. There is only one way for me to drag this trial out. The only thing I have left is this one dirty trick. Your Honor, right now we have these two reasons to believe my client is a client of the assassin. Reason number 1, he accepted the bear figurine from the assassin. Reason number 2, that very same figurine was found at On Guard Mansion. However, it's possible that this is all the work of a certain other person. What are you saying? What I am saying is, it's possible a different person is the killer's real client. The real client? Yes. Is this all you have? Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your theory. Who do you say is the real client of the killer, and therefore the real murderer? Adrian Andrews, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, baby. Adrian Andrews? Yes, we already know that she tried to frame Mad on Guard for the crime by wearing a spare Nickel Samurai costume. Ah! Then the Nickel Samurai's arm that I saw, that could have very well been Miss Andrews. But what about Mr. On Guard? If you would please recall yesterday's testimony. The defendant was taking a nap during the break period. That's right. Then, finding this figure at Mr. On Guard's mansion, it was a well-laid trap set by Miss Andrews. Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion on this? I can't even begin to count the flaws in the defense's logic, besides which there is no evidence to support it. However, I can't fully discount its possibility either. What is with this trial? Come on, anyone can tell On Guard did it. I can't believe the defense would go so far as to pin the guilt onto someone else. Listen, we're trying. We're trying, alright? Y'all don't even know my situation. This is to save Maya. This is to save Maya. If the whole world turns against me, this is one fight I can't give up on. Order! All disruptive parties will be forced to leave the courtroom. Your Honor. For the benefit of the defense, I'm willing to play along with his what-if game. His what-if game, Mr. Edgeworth? The prosecution is prepared to challenge the defense's theory. Mr. Wright, even you must have thought it strange and wondered, why would the criminal want this little wooden bear? He's right. The killer did specially bring that bear to on guard right away. Why do you ask? Is there something special about it? Absolutely. And I'm sure that once the court knows its significance, the true killer's identity will become crystal clear. Your Honor, the prosecution calls upon a witness who will clear all doubts against Miss Andrews. And who would that be? It's quite simple, Your Honor. Miss Adrian Andrews herself. Oh, we're calling her again. Okay. I see. Well then, the court will take a short-minute recess. A short-minute recess? What the fuck does that mean? The prosecution will prepare his witness in that time. Yes, Your Honor. Alright, I think that's where we're going to stop for today. Roll the end card.
Objection! You haven't hit like and subscribe yet. Hold it! You forgot to ring the bell to get notified whenever I upload. Take that! Click here to watch more of my videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye!